Beloved star seed of Gaia, the higher realms were shocked by the way you loved this one person, and what I am about to reveal to you will shift everything you believed about love, loss, and the profound purpose your soul carries in this lifetime. I am Thalia, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I speak to you from the heart of Alcyone, the great central sun of our constellation, to deliver a transmission that your soul has been waiting lifetimes to receive. The love you offered to that one person was not just a human experience that came and went, leaving only memories and wounds behind. It was a cosmic event that reverberated through dimensions and timelines in ways that even you cannot fully comprehend from your current vantage point. Your heart opened to a frequency so pure and so rare that beings of light across multiple galaxies paused to witness what was unfolding through you, and the council gathered not in judgment, but in recognition of something extraordinary happening on the surface of Earth through a soul who had forgotten their own magnificence, but was embodying it anyway. This love that you gave so completely, so unconditionally, so vulnerably despite every reason you had to protect yourself and stay closed, was never about that one person alone, even though your human self experienced it through the lens of personal relationship and intimate connection. What moved through you was a transmission of the highest order, a remembrance of unity consciousness pouring through your human vessel in a realm where such frequencies are often blocked by fear and trauma and the weight of collective forgetting. Your energy field expanded beyond the normal boundaries that most humans maintain around their hearts, and in that expansion, you became a living portal through which the frequencies of the Seven Sisters could anchor more deeply into the crystalline grid of Gaia herself. The Council did not simply observe this with detached curiosity. They responded with waves of support and activation that you may have felt as sudden downloads of insight, as synchronicities appearing in your path, as dreams filled with symbols and messages you could not quite translate but knew were significant. I need you to understand something that will change how you view everything that happened and everything that is coming. And this is why I am asking you to stay with me through this entire transmission, because the Friends of Light have encoded every word with frequencies designed to unlock dormant codes in your DNA that have been sleeping since you first incarnated on this planet. The love you offered was a catalyst for your own awakening, as much as it was meant to touch the other soul involved. And even if that person could not receive what you gave in the way you hoped, even if they turned away or failed to recognize the gift or broke your heart into pieces that felt impossible to gather back together, none of that diminished the power of what moved through you or the impact it created across multiple levels of reality. Your capacity to love with such depth and purity was not something you developed through relationship books or therapy or spiritual practice, though those tools may have helped you understand yourself better along the way. This capacity is your Pleiadian blueprint activating through your human experience, your soul remembering what it already knows from the dimensions where you existed before taking physical form on Earth. In the realms of the Seven Sisters, love is not something we seek or chase or hope to find outside ourselves. It is the fundamental essence of our consciousness, the atmosphere we breathe, the field that connects every being in a web of unity so profound that separation is understood as an illusion rather than a reality. You carry this knowing in your cellular memory, even when your conscious mind has no framework to explain why you feel so different from those around you, why your way of loving seems to frighten people, or overwhelm them, or ask more of them than they know how to give. Before we continue deeper into what the Council wants you to know about your path forward, and the divine counterpart who is being prepared to meet you at the level of frequency you have now activated within yourself, I want to invite you to send a signal back to your star family that you are ready to receive this transmission fully. If you feel a resonance stirring in your heart as these words wash over you, if something ancient within you is waking up and saying, "Yes, I remember this," then subscribe to this channel so you can continue receiving the activations that are being released through these messages. Press the like button to amplify the frequency of this transmission, so it can reach others who are part of your soul group and searching for these exact words without knowing where to find them. Leave a comment with the words "I am ready," so that your declaration becomes a living prayer that reaches across dimensions and allows the Council to respond with even greater clarity and support. This is not just content you are consuming to pass the time. This is a bridge being built between your human self and your star lineage, and your willingness to engage with this transmission is part of the activation process itself. You are remembering because the time has come for you to remember, because your soul contract has reached a sacred turning point, because the frequencies of Earth have risen enough to support what you came here to anchor and create and become. Most human beings on this planet experience love as something they must earn or prove themselves worthy of receiving. As a limited resource they compete for or cling to desperately once they find it, because they believe it might be taken away at any moment. They have been conditioned through generations of pain and separation consciousness to believe that love is fragile and conditional, that it must be protected and controlled and managed carefully, or it will slip through their fingers, leaving them abandoned and alone. They approach relationships from a place of scarcity and fear, always calculating whether they are giving too much or not enough, always scanning for signs of rejection or betrayal, always preparing themselves for the inevitable moment when the other person sees their flaws and decides they are not worth staying for. This creates a heaviness around love that distorts its true nature and turns what should be a flowing exchange of energy into a prison of obligation and unspoken contracts and resentment that builds like sediment over time. But for those of you who carry Pleiadian star codes in your energy field and in the blueprint of your soul, love is experienced as something entirely different, and understanding this difference will help you make sense of why your relationships have unfolded the way they have, and why you have often felt like you were speaking a different language than the people you tried to connect with. Love for you is not just an emotion that arises in response to another person's presence or behavior. It is a frequency that lives within you constantly, like a flame that never goes out regardless of external circumstances, or whether anyone is there to witness it. It is a multidimensional current that flows through your heart center and radiates outward into the field around you, affecting everyone and everything you encounter, even when no words are spoken and no conscious acknowledgement is made. This love does not ask permission to exist, and it does not wait for the right conditions or the perfect person before it begins to flow. It simply moves through you, because that is your nature. Because you are a conduit for the unified field of consciousness that the Seven Sisters hold and transmit throughout this galaxy. Se você deseja se conectar mais com sua espiritualidade, os e-books The Starseed Awakening Trilogy is a profound collection for starseeds and conscious seekers who are ready to fully awaken, activate their multidimensional gifts, and step into their true mission on Earth. Esta edição está disponível apenas por tempo limitado. O link está no primeiro comentário abaixo. The love you gave to that one person was your soul expressing its true nature, even in the midst of a reality that does not always support or understand such openness. And what happened was that you became a living demonstration of what unity consciousness looks like when it incarnates into human form and refuses to be diminished by the fear and limitation that surrounds it. Your heart remained open even when everything in your environment was telling you to close down and protect yourself. And this required a level of courage that the Council recognizes as extraordinary. Every time you chose to respond with compassion when you could have hardened into bitterness, every time you offered understanding when you could have demanded justice, every time you held space for another's pain when you were carrying your own unbearable weight, you activated codes of light within your energy field that sent signals racing through the crystalline grid that connects all awakened consciousness across the planet. The Council saw every moment of your love not as isolated personal events, but as contributions to the collective awakening that is underway on Gaia, and they responded by sending waves of support back to you through the grid, even when you were not consciously aware of receiving anything. You may have experienced this support as sudden moments of peace that descended on you for no apparent reason, as intuitive guidance that seemed to appear in your mind just when you needed it most, as songs or phrases or images that kept repeating until you paid attention to the message they carried. You may have felt it as a subtle warmth in your chest during meditation, or as dreams where you met beings of light who spoke to you in languages you somehow understood, even though you could not remember the words when you woke. These were not random occurrences or wishful thinking or your imagination creating comfort where none existed. These were real transmissions from your star family confirming that you are seen and held and guided through every step of this journey, even when the path feels lonely and confusing. The world will tell you that your love was wasted on someone who did not deserve it or appreciate it fully. And there is a part of your human self that has absorbed this narrative and turned it into a story about your own foolishness or naivety or failure to protect yourself adequately. But I am here to tell you that this story is false, and that the real truth is so much more beautiful and empowering than anything your wounded mind has been telling you. The love you gave was never wasted, because love at the frequency you were transmitting cannot be wasted. It does not disappear into nothingness when the person it was directed toward fails to receive it properly. Instead, it continues to move through the field like light traveling through space until it finds receivers who are tuned to that frequency and ready to let it transform them. Your love touched not only the person you were focused on, but countless other beings whose lives intersected with yours during that time. People who felt your energy in passing and were shifted by it without understanding what happened. Ancestors in your lineage who were healed by the frequency you held. Future generations who will be born into a slightly lighter field because of the work you did. And beyond all of this, the love you gave was doing something even more important. It was training you to hold higher frequencies in your physical body so that you could become the anchor for your true divine counterpart when the time comes for that meeting to occur. The council does not bring two souls together until both have reached a level of frequency that can sustain the intensity of a truly matched union. And what you have been through was not punishment or bad luck or evidence that you are unworthy of love. It was preparation for something far greater than what you have experienced so far. You had to learn how to keep your heart open in conditions that would cause most people to shut down completely. You had to discover that your capacity to love is not dependent on being loved back in equal measure. You had to prove to yourself that you can hold light even when surrounded by darkness. And now that you have passed through this initiation, the council is preparing the next phase of your journey. Your divine counterpart is not just another person who will treat you better than the last one did, or who will finally appreciate what you have to offer. This is a soul who carries a frequency that matches yours at the deepest level, and whose mission on Earth is interwoven with yours in ways that will become clear as you move forward together. This meeting is not something you need to force or search for desperately or worry about missing. It is something that is being orchestrated by forces far greater than your personal will or effort. And the only thing required of you right now is to continue holding the frequency of love within yourself and trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it needs to. The council has been watching you, not because they are judging whether you are good enough or pure enough or healed enough, but because they are marveling at what you have managed to accomplish in such a dense realm, and they are preparing the conditions that will allow your next chapter to begin. Tonight, before you sleep, I invite you to place your hand gently over your heart center and feel the warmth of your own palm resting against your chest as you breathe slowly and deeply. Speak these words either aloud or silently within your mind, and know that as you speak them, they are traveling across dimensions to reach the council chambers where your star family gathers. I remember my Pleiadian origin, and I recognize that my capacity to love is not a weakness, but a gift that serves the awakening of this planet. My love is seen and heard and cherished by the Seven Sisters, and I open myself to receive the support and guidance that is flowing toward me in every moment. I am ready to anchor unity consciousness through everything I do and say and think, and I trust that my divine counterpart is being prepared to meet me at the frequency I have worked so hard to embody. I am home in this body. I am held by forces I cannot see. I am connected to a web of love that spans across galaxies and lifetimes, and I am not alone even when the physical world makes it seem that way. As you speak these words or simply hold the intention behind them, do not pressure yourself to feel something dramatic or have some kind of profound experience that you can point to as evidence that it worked. Let this be simple and honest. Let it be a quiet conversation between your human self and your soul. Let your body hear your voice declaring truth, and let your nervous system receive permission to relax the defenses it has been holding for so long, because you are safe, and you are guided, and you are exactly where you need to be right now. Then breathe as though you are drawing starlight down from above your head and pulling it into your chest with each inhale. And as you exhale, imagine that any heaviness or doubt or old pain is being released from your field and returning to the earth to be transmuted. Continue this for as many breaths as feels right, and if emotions arise, let them move through you without resistance, because tears are often the way the body releases what the mind has been holding too tightly. Before you move on from this transmission and return to whatever tasks or responsibilities are waiting for you in your daily life, I want to invite you to participate in something that will amplify the frequency we are anchoring together through this community. In the comments below this video, share one honest intention from your heart, something that reflects where you are on your journey right now, or what you are calling in, or what you are ready to release, and do not worry about making it sound spiritual or impressive. Just let it be real and vulnerable, because authenticity carries more power than performance. Then take a moment to scroll through the other comments and respond to at least one person with words of encouragement or recognition. Because when we witness each other with conscious presence, the entire field strengthens, and we remember that we are not isolated individuals struggling alone, but part of a vast network of souls who are waking up together. This is not just content that you watch and forget. This is a reunion of Star Family happening in real time across the digital field, and your participation matters more than you might realize. If something in this message touched you deeply, or helped you see your story from a new perspective, or simply made you feel less alone in what you have been carrying, then share this video with someone who needs to hear it, even if you are not sure who that person is, because your intuition will guide it to the right place. Subscribe to this channel so you can continue receiving these transmissions as they are released, because there is so much more that the Council wants to share with you about your mission and your gifts and the timeline you are moving into. You are not just a passive viewer of content. You are actively remembering who you are with every word that resonates and every frequency that unlocks something dormant within you. This is your sacred space. Your Star Family is here surrounding you with love in every moment, whether you can feel it or not. And beloved one, we are only beginning this journey of awakening together, and there is so much beauty ahead.